Hey everybody, I'm JJ Castillo, shooting here for Studio SX with Mr. Mike Weeby from the Riverboat Gamblers.
Hello. Hey JJ, how are you?
I'm doing fine. So the South by Southwest Music Week has just started.
It did.
You're kind of a veteran, I'd say, at this point.
Yes, an old grizzled veteran.
So I had some questions. I was going around the audience asking people what they wanted to hear.
Okay.
And so you've gone through a few members at the Riverboat Gamblers. I believe right now it's just you and Mr. Foddy are the original members.
Yeah.
So when going through new people, potential members, what does it take to be a Riverboat Gambler? I mean, I'm pretty sure you come across a lot of musicians know how to play the music.
Yeah, yeah.
But what does it take to live the life?
You have to be willing to devote, it's like a full-time job that you get paid in part-time minimum wage. A lot of it's just like people, I think like the reason we've gone through so many members is like a lot of, it's a lifetime thing, and some people, it's kind of a tough life. There's amazing points and amazing things that happen. We get to go crazy places and do all kinds of stuff, but it's pretty hard, and at some point I think there's like a gene that a lot of people have that the grown-up gene.
Yeah.
And it kicks in for a lot of people at different times, and I'm thinking that I'm deficient in it. Like I'm Down syndrome for that gene, and I don't think I have it, and I don't think Foddy does either. Maybe he might actually, but I don't know. Hopefully it won't kick in because I like doing this.
Well, like Patrick, your original guitarist, right?
Yeah.
Is it true or false that he left the band because he kept getting his teeth knocked out?
That's
by your microphone.
That's false.
Is it false?
It did happen though. He did get.
How many teeth did he lose?
He lost. We were playing a show at the Parkside in San Francisco, and I was swinging the mic, and the mic came and hit him up here, and it broke like 4 teeth up front, and he had just all fake ones.
Did he continue the show?
Yeah, well, until he started swallowing so much blood that he started passing out.
You can only swallow so much blood.
You can only swallow so much blood. So then we had to cancel that, but he remained in the band for a good 4 or 5 years afterwards.
Nice.
And stuff, and it wasn't a teeth thing. He found a beautiful, nice lady and settled down.
Ladies will do that.
Yeah.
So
I have yet to find one.
Let's talk about your newest release, Underneath the Owl, on Volcom Records.
Yes.
It's a great album. Love it. Actually, I did a video for one of the songs on the album. But what's funny is there's a song. It's kind of like I don't call it a slow jam. It's but there's definitely a lap steel in it. There's a lap steel in the song. Now, was there some debate between you and the band whenever you're making a punk rock album and you decide to throw like a Texas lap steel in there? Like, did someone say like, hey, wait, we might get some crap for this?
Nah, I think like at this point we've kind of given up on like what message boards and punk rock. There's like a lot of punk rock fans and stuff are really narrow-minded, and really it's like everything has to be in a certain. There's a lot of rule, like for a type of music that was created to like break rules and to not follow boundaries. Like it's the most rule-specific and like rigid structure of what you're supposed to can and can't do. And at this point, we're kind of like, fuck that. Yeah. So we'll put whatever. I mean, there was a little bit of like, wow, we're actually putting a xylophone on this record, and but I'm glad we did. Like, I think it's I don't know.
Says the Texas punk rock singer in the Argyle sweater.
Yeah, exactly.
Spin it on its head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta smidge it up like Madonna.
Speaking of spin, you guys did a cover of Prince's
yes.
Let's Get Nuts, is it?
Let's Go Crazy.
Let's Go Crazy.
But he does
Purple
say
Rain.
Let's Get Nuts.
Sorry. But so from the Purple Rain, Spin did a 25th anniversary Purple Rain. Asked a bunch of artists to sing Prince songs. You guys were asked to do that song.
Yeah.
Now, did you get to pick that song? Was it given to you?
No, they gave it to us, but it was my favorite song, and I'm so glad that they gave it to us because it's awesome.
Well, you ad-libbed a line at the end of that song, at the end of on the end of your cover of it. And what was the line at the very end while like the band's breaking it down, the song's winding up, and then you say?
I said, what did I say? I said, okay, when I was a little kid, there was a big discussion. It's true, I didn't explain it out, but I said, when I was a little kid, everybody used to always say, who would you rather fuck, Apollonia or what was the other one?
The other
Apollonia, who's it? Vanity or Apollonia, which is all true. who would you rather fuck with Apollonia? And then I said, I'll fuck them both.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Nice.
But when I was a little kid, I remember saying that, and I cracked someone else up, and I was extremely proud of. That was maybe the first laugh I ever got using a cuss word.
You were 4.
And I was stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I really I don't even know that like the idea of that at all. But there's a very serious debate in my 6th grade class over who was better looking, Apollonia or Vanity.
Okay, so there's rumors going around on the interweb and the blogosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And is it true that one of the members of Riverboat Gamblers can be romantically linked to a 90s TV action star?
I maybe shouldn't confirm or deny. I can't say whether that's true or not. I really shouldn't say, it's not me, but it's someone else in the band. Maybe, but that couldn't be true.
Oh, geez. Okay, so you guys played a lot of house shows. I mean, you're kind of known for it. Like on your Uprising, you guys, you played a lot of house shows like Mars Volta, Jimmy Eat World, all these bands. We're pretty.
I was at the drive-in, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So you've probably seen a lot of weird venues, a lot of weird houses, a lot of shitholes, for lack of a better word. What's one of the craziest, crappiest places you guys ever played? Interesting story.
We played a squat in Paris, or in the ghettos outside of Paris, and it was the most Mad Max, like, crazy thing I've ever seen in my life. They literally had like a big gate, and they had to guys had to roll it. It was all bombed out, still bombed out from World War II, and there was just there was 100 just the gnarliest, dirtiest, grossest, crusty punks with mohawks. It's just kind of sideways and there was just hundreds of dogs everywhere, and it was just freezing. They were all it was so cold outside, and they were just and there was bombed out parts, and you would see little fires going off in there, and
it was like Mad Max.
I've never felt like such a scared little kid, where I was just I just want to go home. I just want to be in bed, and at some point, this just crusty kind of we're just kind of just deciding well, where should we stay tonight? You can stay here. It's totally fine. There's a place. It's totally safe. And right as this guy is explaining that it's totally a normal nice place to stay, this crusty runs out, and he's walks out, and he's just staggering, and his pants are down, and he whips out his uncircumcised dick and just starts pissing all over his feet. And he's just standing there pissing, and we're just looking in shock. And then out of nowhere, this other guy just runs up and just clocks him, and he falls to the ground, and he's just piss is going all over his leg, and he's just dying there. And it's just freezing cold, and everybody just walks off, and he's just kind of sitting there moaning, and the guy was saying, well, but it is perfectly safe. You can totally stay here. I think we'll get a motel. I think that'll be all right.
Nice. So we're talking about South by Music Week just started off. You see a lot of people giving out free CDs, free DVDs, cards that can play in your computer. Everyone's doing crazy stuff to get their stuff out there. At the end of the day, you end up with a bag full of stuff you're probably never going to listen to or email these cards back. What are your tips to people that are trying to get heard? You guys, a couple years ago, it was 2 years ago, you played. David Frick wrote a nice little column about you guys in Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
What does it take to get noticed, written about?
I think most of it's just luck. I think playing a lot helps too, because there's so much going on that you can see something awesome all day long and still miss tons of stuff. I don't know, just luck. I mean, the other thing I would say is give out free fleshlights.
Well, I've always told people it's not necessarily how much stuff you give out to get noticed. It's more along the lines if you give someone a ride home when they're blasted, and they end up being the head of Sony or something, and then they'll call you, or maybe if they need weed.
I think if I was a drug dealer, I would probably make a lot of money this weekend, but I'm too skittish and afraid of such.
There's still time.
I know, there's still time.
All right, last words, Mike Wiebe from the Riverboat Gamblers. Okay, I got one. How about?
Thank you.
You go up to heaven, right?
Yeah.
St. Peter's at the gate. What does he tell you?
He says, Mike, you are incredibly attractive. Would you like to come back into this room with me? And then it just gets weird. And I'm like, this is what heaven's gonna be like? And it is. And I was just like, totally should have been a Mormon. This is not working out for me.
The Mormons were correct.
The Mormons were right. I would go to a totally different heaven, have my own planet with my pregnant wife.
Last words for Mike Wiebe. The Mormons were correct. Right here, you're watching Studio Sex. Thanks for watching.